morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Mary Grant, and it is my distinct honor to serve as Chancellor of this outstanding institution of public higher education. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina at Asheville, I convene today's graduation ceremony. I'm delighted to welcome the class of 2015, family members, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and distinguished guests to this day of celebration. I extend my sincere congratulations to all who will be recognized here today. Members of the class of 2015, we are very proud of you and your many accomplishments. You leave here well prepared for the opportunities and challenges ahead of you, and one thing that we know for certain is that there will be plenty of both. As we begin today's ceremony, please remain standing as Sarah Restaino, class of 2015, comes to the platform to lead us in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sarah. That was beautiful. Please be seated, everyone. Thank you again, Sarah. Commencement is a day of celebration. Today, we celebrate and honor the class of 2015. In this class, there are graduates who have delighted and inspired us with their success in the classroom, in the labs, on the athletic fields and courts, in the theater, the galleries, and in the community. Graduates who have studied abroad, pursued research, and mentored younger students along the way. Graduates who have returned to school after many years and have completed their bachelor's degrees, bringing to the classroom professional and life experiences that add richness to the discussion and underscore the importance of lifelong learning. You have completed research projects and internships, joined honor societies, built robots, ran for office, created works of visual and spoken art. You danced, you sang, you scored goals and snatched rebounds, you set and broke records. You taught classes, you coached sports, worked multiple jobs, you raised families, you cared for parents and grandparents, you made your families proud. You made all of us proud. You put your time, your energy, your education to good work, and today we celebrate all of you. We are grateful for the time we have had together and thankful you have been with us. And while we rejoice in the company of those who are here with us today, in this space as we celebrate, it's natural to think about those who are not here, those we are missing. I know that each of you holds in your heart the memory of a family member, friend, or mentor who supported you and guided you along the way. In recognition of all who we love who are not with us today, let's take a moment and just think about those folks. Thank you. Commencement is the culmination of years of academic work and accomplishments. It is also made up of the work of many, many members of the UNC Asheville community who have put great energy and care into making this celebration a very special day, including watching the weather. Would you please join me in a round of applause for the talented and hardworking staff in facilities, ITS, student affairs, residence life, communications, academic affairs, the registrar's office, public safety, advancement, the commencement committee, and the countless volunteers who have worked with great energy and enthusiasm to make this day of celebration possible. Let's have a round of applause for those folks. Thank you all so very much. I would also like to thank the faculty and staff of UNC Asheville for your passion, your energy, and your time. I would like to thank you for the important and inspiring work that you do and for your commitment to delivering a first-class education. The work that you do shapes lives. The work that you do enriches our collective future. Faculty give of their time and expertise generously and without hesitation as we continue to build and shape the future of UNC Asheville. Whether guiding undergraduate research, serving as academic advisors, directing student productions, engaging with our schools, neighborhoods, and community on complex and important issues, leading international study programs, curating an arts festival, providing music to lift our hearts, advising one of the many clubs and organizations, or simply sharing insights over a cup of coffee. Faculty encourage students to explore their interests, to take advantage of every educational opportunity available to them, and to pursue their passions. Your students know that they can count on you. They respect and love you, and they know that you want the best for them and from them. Our dedicated staff and administrators work in partnership with the faculty. No matter their role or assignment, day or night, our staff members go above and beyond to make UNC Asheville a place where students can grow, learn, and achieve powerful results. You serve the university with distinction. I know you share my pride and affection for the class of 2015. I invite the faculty, staff, and administrators who are here to please stand so that graduates and their families and friends can recognize and thank you. Thank you. At UNC Asheville, we are fortunate to be served by 5 volunteer boards: the Bulldog Athletic Board, the UNC Asheville National Alumni Council, the UNC Asheville Parents Council, the UNC Asheville Foundation Board, and the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees. These volunteers bring with them an array of academic, civic, and professional expertise. They are stewards, champions, and advocates for UNC Asheville. Thank you, trustees, and thank you to the representatives from the UNC Asheville alumni, parents, athletic, and foundation boards. Your support, guidance, and friendship makes all the difference. I ask that you all please stand and be recognized for your many contributions to the life of UNC Asheville. Thank you. I now am pleased to invite King Prather, Chair of the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees, to the podium to bring greetings from the trustees. King?
Chancellor Grant, distinguished members of the Platform Party, it's with immense pride that I take this opportunity to congratulate and address our graduating seniors on behalf of the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees, many, as you saw, with me here on the platform tonight, this morning. Soon to be graduates. I join the UNC Asheville alumni, the faculty and staff, your friends and your families as we gather to celebrate and congratulate you on your achievement for completing your respective degrees. Your experiences at UNC Asheville and the memories you've made here have helped you become the individuals that you are today. In just a few moments, you'll walk across this stage to receive your hard-earned degrees, and you will go forth and embrace your futures. I know that you will do so with the confidence and capability that comes from receiving your education at this outstanding public institution. You will be walking, breathing examples of the value of a public liberal arts education. And your journey with UNC Asheville does not end when you leave here. You go forth with continued support from our dedicated faculty and as respected alumni. And as a graduate of this institution, it's your responsibility to use the critical thinking, the problem-solving skills, the continuous learning that you've developed here to improve our society and the lives of the others that you meet on your journey ahead. And your education does not end here, because of learning and relearning, tooling and retooling, they're at the heart of both our society and our modern economy. Family and friends of graduates, I know this is a special day for you as well. The support that you've given your student and this university as a whole has resulted in making this day possible. And I ask you, not just as a member of the Board of Trustees, but also as a parent of 3 UNC Asheville graduates, to continue to be engaged with this institution. Your time, your advocacy, and your support for this university, they're vital to ensuring that the future UNC Asheville students will continue to experience a public liberal arts education at its very best. Graduates of UNC Asheville, the trustees, the chancellor, the provost, the faculty, the National Alumni Council, and your family and friends here today, know that you will represent this university with great honor in the years ahead. I urge you to give back. I urge you to pay it forward. I urge you to be the change that society craves. Once again, congratulations on your tremendous success. I'm now pleased to invite Tiffany Drummond Armstrong to the podium to bring greetings from the UNC Asheville National Alumni Council. Tiffany.
Thank you, King. Thank you, Chancellor Grant. To the class of 2015, I bring greetings and congratulations from my colleagues on the National Alumni Council. I'm honored to be here today, the day you join our ranks as UNC Asheville alumni. We have a long and proud lineage that includes elected leaders, artists, corporate and nonprofit executives, community activists, professional athletes, teachers, entrepreneurs, award-winning authors, and many, many others. UNC Asheville alumni are out there all over the planet making a difference in our communities. And now, you join us. I know that graduating was no easy task. The reason that so many of our UNC Asheville alumni are leaders in their fields is because this faculty and staff expected so much of you, of us. Our professors taught us to become critical thinkers and helped us to form the skills needed to ably navigate our life's path. I credit my professional and personal success to the solid foundation built at this university. When you leave today, please know too that you are not alone. Our Alumni Association is here to serve you, and lifetime membership is a gift of your alma mater. For the rest of your life, UNC Asheville will continue to support you and your endeavors, and I call upon you to support your university in return. Plan to engage with the alumni who live in your city. Plan to visit campus for special events and celebrations like this one. And plan, I actually would say commit now to support this university and give back of your time, your expertise, and your financial gifts. Because you're not leaving the university today. You are the heart of this institution, and you'll remain connected to it. As alumni, we are the past, the present, and the future of this university. And I encourage you to come alongside your fellow graduates with purpose and passion for UNC Asheville. On behalf of the National Alumni Council and our alumni everywhere, we wish you the best in each of your individual pursuits. And remember, you are now and will forever be a Bulldog. Congratulations to the class of 2015.
Thank you, King. Thank you, Tiffany. The University of North Carolina system is governed by a board of governors comprised of volunteer leaders from across North Carolina. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Lou Bissett, a former mayor of the city of Asheville and vice chair of the UNC Board of Governors, to bring you greetings and to present the 2015 Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. Lou, would you join me at the podium, please?
Thank you, Chancellor. Good morning. On behalf of the University of North Carolina Board of Governors and UNC President Tom Ross, it is my great pleasure to bring greetings to today's graduates, their families, to this university's distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, Board of Trustees, members of the Platform Party, and my favorite chancellor, Mary Grant. Mary's doing a great, terrific job, and I'm so pleased to have her here in Asheville. Don't mention that in Cullowhee or Boone, will you? Graduates, congratulations. We're here to celebrate you and your accomplishments. The experiences learned during your time at this great institution will resonate throughout your life. Your education at the University of North Carolina at Asheville has provided you the knowledge and skills you will need to achieve success in these ever-changing and complex times. And wherever and whatever your future endeavors may be, we encourage you to stay connected to this very special university. You deserve to celebrate because you have earned this day. But it is also important to acknowledge the contributions of the faculty and staff of UNC Asheville, especially those teachers who have helped, encouraged, and equipped you to succeed. There are many faculty members on this campus who exemplify outstanding teaching. Today, I want to recognize one of them. It is my pleasure to present this year's Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching to one of your most outstanding faculty members. Established by the Board of Governors in 1994 to underscore the importance of teaching and to reward great teachers across the university, the awards are given annually to a tenured faculty member from each UNC campus. Recipients are nominated by special committees of their home campuses and selected by the Board of Governors Committee on Personnel and Tenure. This year's recipient from the University of North Carolina at Asheville is Dr. Leah Greedon Matthews. Dr. Matthews, could you and Chancellor Grant join me at the podium? Dr. Matthews is a professor of economics. She is an active scholar, a gifted teacher, and a valued mentor to the many, many students who have been fortunate enough to take her classes and to work with her on her numerous significant community projects. Dr. Matthews, in her 17 years at the University of North Carolina at Asheville, has challenged and inspired her students to think critically and to explore the connections between the discipline of economics and the way in which financial issues manifest themselves in the world. One student writes, "I first came on as a student research assistant working for her USDA-funded project on local food branding. I believe that working as a researcher with Dr. Matthews helped me build my skill set, my confidence, and realize my interests at a deeper level." A group of 4 of her former undergraduate research students added, "Instead of telling us exactly what to do, she challenged us to think critically about our research design, analysis, and how we wanted to present our findings." As these students' comments confirm, Dr. Matthews' teaching and research extend well beyond the university and the wider community. She explains her overall philosophy as a commitment to improving students' economic literacy, working across the disciplines, and a teaching practice that extends beyond the classroom. The numerous undergraduate research projects she has mentored include an examination of the loss of farmland in Buncombe County, North Carolina farmlands, impacts of the 2004 tobacco buyout program, and one that is very dear to my heart, the economic value of the southern Appalachian brook trout. Concerning these experiences, Dr. Matthews writes of the enthusiasm she has for teaching and mentoring students outside of the classroom. She is quoted as saying, "I have a long-standing practice of engaging in various forms of undergraduate research and also truly enjoy my role as both a formal advisor and informal mentor to my students." Her colleagues in the highly regarded Food for Thought cluster write, "It is our firm belief that Dr. Matthews is the quintessential teacher-scholar." One adds, "Dr. Matthews is the model of excellence in mentorship." Finally, a former student wrote of her impact on his life. "My first class with Dr. Matthews was 8 years ago, and I still remember the lessons I learned from it. She is adept at creating an environment that fosters student education by bringing real-world examples into the classroom." The student then adds, "When I decided to return to the mountains, Dr. Matthews was the person who connected me with a position at the Land of the Sky Regional Council." Clearly, her impact as a teacher and mentor to students continues to reverberate long after they leave the university. Dr. Matthews, we celebrate your outstanding professional achievement and salute your demonstrated commitment to great teaching and inspiring a new generation of learners. In honoring you, we also acknowledge the more than 14,000 dedicated faculty members who teach over 220,000 students throughout the University of North Carolina system. Aha. Let's see. Let me get this right. They didn't let me practice this. Yeah. Here's your stipend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lou. Congratulations, Leah. Wonderful, really wonderful. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Peter Caulfield, Professor of Literature and Language. Dr. Caulfield was the recipient of the 2014 Distinguished Teaching Award. He has the honor of presenting this year's award. Dr. Caulfield.
Hi, how y'all doing? All right, so this year's winner of the Distinguished Teacher of the Year Award joined the UNCA faculty in 2005 and has contributed to the university in a wide variety of ways since then. It should be said that our 2014-2015 recipient exemplifies the kind of interdisciplinary approach to teaching, scholarship, and service on which UNC Asheville justly prides itself. This year's award winner is an extraordinary teacher and a prolific scholar in a variety of areas and has contributed significant service to our institution, again, wearing many hats in surprising and disparate roles. The recipient has served as a faculty mentor for 70 undergraduate research projects in 11 years. These do not include the approximately 30 senior seminar projects overseen or over 100 students he has advised. Though a member of the math faculty, this person has served as chair of the Writing Intensive Committee, where he provided stellar leadership in a field that was far from his own doctoral research. He was called to that task, which he willingly undertook, in part because he has written and published a textbook on using writing to teach math. In addition, he is an accomplished poet, specifically in a genre of poetry called ulipo, a demanding type of poetry in which the poet sets for himself or herself certain kinds of constraints, including math constraints, under which the poems must be composed. As if all this were not enough, he is currently serving as the director of UNC Asheville's honors program, where he advises and guides the honors students from virtually every discipline on campus. He is clearly ideally suited to that role. His teaching excellence has already been recognized in the past by several nominations for teaching awards, and in 2011, he won the Teaching Award for Excellence in Natural Science. One of his students writes of him, "I can honestly say that I have never felt so humbled and inspired by a professor's work in my entire career at UNCA." Another adds, he encourages students' engagement with complex mathematical topics in a way that allows for a deeper, intuitive understanding of their foundations. This kind of understanding then paves the way for broad applications across disciplinary boundaries, end quote. Finally, a student in the honors program adds, as director of the honors program, he initiated many programs to encourage seniors to mentor and befriend freshmen that they might otherwise never meet, and has fostered a genuine sense of community in the honors program, unquote. He clearly is and has been for many years a gifted teacher and a mentor for students all across the University of North Carolina, Asheville. And just an aside, you'll often see him walking across campus, even on the coldest winter days, wearing shorts. I am proud to present this year's Distinguished Teacher Award to Dr. Patrick Balls.
Congratulations, Patrick. Wonderful, really wonderful. Next year, you get to carry the mace, so don't lose track of it. I think he has to bring that home with him and keep it for the whole year, so that's really very special. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you James Whalen. James was the 2014-2015 Student Government Association President and Student Trustee. James is from Charlotte, North Carolina. He graduates today with a double major in mathematics and philosophy and a minor in German. Since his freshman year, James has been an active and engaged member of the campus community. He has held many roles in the UNC Asheville Student Government Association, as well as several other clubs and organizations on campus. After graduation, James will be moving to just outside Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where he will begin work as a presidential intern for the University of North Carolina system. James was one of only 3 people chosen for this honor from a statewide pool of the UNC system's most qualified graduating seniors. Please join me in welcoming James to the podium.
Before I do anything else, can we thank Chancellor Grant and the whole team for letting us do this outside? We got a little bit of fog, but otherwise, thank God for such beautiful weather. It's nice to do it out here. Oh, this isn't mine. I'm so grateful that I'm graduating from a university that works with its students to make important decisions. That has been my experience my entire college career at UNC Asheville, and for that, I am truly thankful. So, they should teach us how to, talk with this thing. It's going to get in my face. Now, the big question, are we ready to graduate? Well, I hear about half of you, so, if I were to guess, I'd say that every one of us is split in two. While we are truly excited about the next chapters of our lives, the question, what will you do next, gnaws at our self-confidence and inflates our nervousness. Let me be clear, we are not afraid of this question because we are in any way intimidated by the challenges of the real world. We have never had the luxury of the stereotypical college student whose 4 years of gluttonous drinking and partying leave him unprepared for adult life. We have not had that opportunity. Instead, we have lived on the front lines of national and international struggles. The burdens of sexual violence, institutional racism, and student debt have been at the forefront of our collective consciousness since freshman year. For us, these struggles are personal. Our friends have suffered the burdens of discrimination, survived assaults, and now graduate with overwhelming debt. I am proud to say that after 4 years, some of my greatest heroes are my peers. Students who regularly volunteer to combat injustices for the sake of their loved ones are in short supply, and of those, few are as vigilant and dedicated as the members of this graduating class. Still, the same struggles that we have fought for nearly half a decade to overcome continue to threaten our university. Sexual violence, racial hatred, and economic inequality are all self-perpetuating injustices designed not only to cause pain, but to feed off the very pain that they cause. We, on the other hand, were made by God to be short-lived, and our mortality leaves us with a very uneven playing field. But did that playing field scare us away? Not a chance. Almost immediately, this class volunteered to fight, and at this public liberal arts institution, we quickly have developed the tools needed to be effective and motivated advocates for the human struggle. From this liberal arts university, we have learned to find creative solutions to new and old struggles. From this public institution, we have learned that we are inseparably linked to our fellow human beings. Taken together, we have learned that the best of human creativity and imagination is most valuable when it can be shared with all of humanity. Thus, we graduate today with a dual responsibility. First, to the unending expansion of human creativity and wisdom, and second, to the continued development of our collective social conscience. But wait, there's more. Our generation desperately needs leaders with public and liberal arts backgrounds, leaders who have learned to recognize patterns and who know that when 1 in 5 women and 1 in 30 men survive assaults, their experiences are in no way isolated incidents. Leaders who ask significant questions and ask why a community riots rather than condemning actions we do not understand. Leaders with curious minds who seek out the root causes of climate change, gun violence, international instability, and economic unfairness. For 4 or more years, we have been challenged by our alma mater to continuously search for greater curiosity and wider perspectives, and challenged by our circumstances to embrace human struggles and to never sit on the sidelines when our friends were in need. So yes, we are absolutely ready to graduate. Not because it's easy or because we necessarily want to. Most of us want to. But because we have been called to lead the next generation of torchbearers to battle against the trials of this century, to honor those who have helped us be who we are today, and to pave the way for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you. I'm going to ask James to stand here for a moment longer. James, I am confident that you will continue to represent UNC Asheville well in all that you do as you begin this next chapter in your life. The A.C. Reynolds Award and Thomas D. Reynolds Prize are presented to a graduate who has demonstrated outstanding service to the campus community. This year, we recognize the student you've just heard speak so eloquently, James Whalen. His activities on campus include College Democrats, Campus Commission, Alpha Sigma Phi Fraternity, Student Government Association, where he served first as senator and then as president. James has served as the student member of the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees. In addition to these roles and accomplishments, James has been an employee of the university through the Student Activities Department, where he has served as the student organization supervisor. James is described as one of the most conscientious and hardworking students on campus. His ability to balance his academics and co-curricular activities is indeed impressive. He believes in the power of a liberal arts education, and he loves this university. We are so pleased to recognize James Whalen as this year's recipient of the A.C. Reynolds Award and Thomas D. Reynolds Prize for Campus Service. Congratulations, James. We also use this time to celebrate the William and Ida Friday Award honor for outstanding graduate who serves the larger community. This year, we honor Stephanie Watkins Cruz. Would Stephanie please come forward? Stephanie's community involvement, her leadership, and activism for social justice are beyond unusual for a student at any university and have been well established during her time at UNC Asheville. On campus, she is president of UNC Asheville's She's the First chapter. She's co-president of the UNC Asheville's Black Student Association, co-founder and managing editor of Shades of Color, UNC Asheville, captain of UNC Asheville's cheer and dance team, and a work-study student in the Department of Political Science. And I think that is just the short list. She also served as UNC Asheville's orientation programming supervisor and as head orientation leader. Off campus, Stephanie volunteers with the I Have a Dream Asheville, mentoring 6th through 10th grade students at the Urban Mentoring Academy. She has served as an MLK Day of Service ambassador and organized and participated in the State of Black Asheville community presentations. These are just a few of the organizations through which Stephanie has served the community. For these and countless other community service activities, we recognize Stephanie Watkins Cruz as this year's recipient of the William and Ida Friday Award for Community Service. Congratulations, Stephanie. Wow. Congratulations, Stephanie. Congratulations, James. Please welcome to the podium Kirk Boyle to announce the Manley Wright Award recipient. Kirk?
Greetings to graduates, families, students, faculty, and staff. The Honors and Degree Programs Committee has chosen Kelly Ocean to receive the 2015 Manley E. Wright Award. Kelly, will you please stand? Kelly Ocean, graduating with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and a perfect 4.0 GPA, has earned the Manley E. Wright Award by demonstrating outstanding performance in her coursework, co-curricular activities, and significant undergraduate research accomplishments. Lisa Runquist, chair of the Department of Art and Art History, attests that Kelly excels in the classroom. She exhibits elevated critical thinking and oral written communication skills that allow her to synthesize theoretical perspectives and develop her own conceptual frameworks. Professor Runquist continues, Kelly's background in artistic practice and marketing provides an interdisciplinary base and level of sophistication from which she engages in insightful and enriching dialogue with her fellow classmates. A UNC Asheville Laurel Scholar, Honors Student, member of the Phi Eta Sigma National Honor Society, recipient of multiple academic scholarships. Kelly has also served as a writing consultant at the University Writing Center for 3 years and as president for the student organization Art Front. In addition to co-curricular activities such as interning for the Americans for the Arts organization in Washington, D.C., Kelly has been a consummate undergraduate researcher, presenting her senior project, Perpetual Pursuit, Painting the Unattainable, at the 2015 National Conference on Undergraduate Research. Her paper, which examines how artists from the past have used unusual and often discarded materials to make new and challenging art, has been chosen for publication in the UNC Asheville Undergraduate Research Journal. Virginia Derryberry, professor of art, drawing, and painting, calls Kelly, quote, that rare student whose intellectual ability shines out in thought, word, and deed. A creative problem solver who is focused in her approach, Kelly has an unbelievably strong work ethic and dedication to the task at hand. She is, without a doubt, the most intellectually gifted and academically successful student with whom I have worked in my 30-year career in higher education. Congratulations, Kelly, on this highest academic honor and on being accepted as a master's degree candidate in arts administration at Columbia University this fall. And now for the best part, you will be escorted to the last seat to receive your diploma on an engraved silver platter. Please join me one more time in applauding this year's Manly E. Wright Award winner, Kelly Ocean.
Congratulations, Kelly. That is just fantastic. We're so proud of you. Wow, that's really, really something. I'm tempted to say, you know, I can't help it. I'm from Boston, and in Boston we would say Kelly is so smart. She is just brilliant. Congratulations. You make us all so very proud. I would now like to ask the chair of the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees, King Prather, to join me at the podium as we begin to present this year's honorary degree awards. Principal Chief Michelle Hicks, will you please join me at the podium? Michelle Hicks, you are our partner in education and a proud neighbor of UNC Asheville. Having served as Principal Chief of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians since 2003, during your tenure and with your financial leadership, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians have improved their quality of life, including opening a new Cherokee language-based school, the new Katua Academy. Most recently, you have reached out to UNC Asheville to expand educational opportunities further by signing an instructional credit agreement. Together, we will extend opportunities to tribal members to attend UNC Asheville and will foster the expansion of Cherokee cultural programming on campus and in Greater Asheville. Yours is a work of great cultural importance and complexity, and it's a credit to your strong financial background as a certified public accountant. With more than 2 decades of service to the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, you have provided leadership as Executive Director of Budget and Finance and in the highest elected office. You've strived to keep your community safe, provide access to quality health care and educational opportunities, preserve your language, and promote a lifestyle that celebrates your heritage. Today, we celebrate our shared heritage and partnership. You've been a great supporter of our Bulldogs, particularly on the basketball court, in cultural events and through student activities, and we are fortunate to have you as a teammate. Your service to the community is unparalleled as your work with our students, offering internships and mentoring our Native American Student Association. You've shared your leadership and expertise as a board member on many Native American institutions and organizations, including the Museum of the Cherokee Indian, the Cherokee Preservation Foundation, the National Congress of the American Indian, and the National Indian Gaming Association. And just recently, you've been recognized as the 2015 Tribal Leader of the Year by the Native American Financial Officers Association. It's a well-deserved honor and one that is an echo of our recognition of your service, leadership, and dedication to education and community. Principal Chief Michelle Hicks, the Board of Trustees of UNC Asheville, is proud to award you the Doctor of Humane Letters. Thank you, Chief. It's an honor to be joined by you and your incredible wife, Marcia, who is clearly a partner in leadership and community work that you both engage in so deeply and so profoundly. Thank you for letting us honor you today. Marcia, thank you for being here with us as well. Dr. Wiley Cash, would you please join me at the podium? King? King. Hey, King.
That's all right.
Dr. Wiley Cash, since graduating from UNC Asheville 15 years ago, you have done your alma mater proud. Your award-winning and best-selling novels, A Land More Kind Than Home and This Dark Road to Mercy, paint beautiful and often haunting images of the people and places of North Carolina. After graduating from high school in your hometown of Gastonia, North Carolina, you came to UNC Asheville, where you became student body president, studied literature as well as Appalachian history, and fell in love with the rural mountain areas that surround our campus. After graduating from UNC Asheville, you went on to earn a master's degree in English at the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, before returning to your alma mater for a short time to teach in the humanities program, the very core of this university's liberal arts curriculum. 3 semesters later, you moved on from UNC Asheville, once again, this time to earn a PhD in English at the University of Louisiana Lafayette, where you studied under famed Southern author Ernest J. Gaines. While in Louisiana, you maintained your connection with North Carolina, inspired by reflections and images of the people and landscape that would later pour forth in your writing. Your first novel, A Land More Kind Than Home, was a gripping story exploring the dark and beautiful side of religion and rural life. The novel, set in nearby Madison County, was a success with readers and critics alike, reaching the New York Times bestseller list in hardcover, paperback, and ebook, winning the John Cressy New Blood Dagger Award from the UK Crime Writers Association, and being named a finalist for the Penn Robert W. Bingham Prize. Your second novel, This Road Dark to Mercy, was a national bestseller and is currently a finalist for the Mystery Writers of American Edgar's Award. The novel, set in your hometown of Gastonia, North Carolina, also was an Indie Next Pick, an Okra pick by the Southern Independent Bookseller Alliance, a Library Read Selection, and an Amazon Book of the Month. In addition to your inspiring work as a novelist, you have still found time to teach, previously at Bethany College in West Virginia, and currently at both the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and in the low residency MFA program in fiction and nonfiction writing at Southern New Hampshire University. Dr. Wiley Cash, the Board of Trustees of UNC Asheville is proud to award you the Doctor of Humane Letters. Congratulations, Dr. Cash. It is now my pleasure to welcome you to the podium to provide our commencement address. Dr. Cash.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Before I begin, I want to do something that I couldn't do 15 years ago, and that's take a selfie with the class of 2015. A, because I couldn't do it because cell phones didn't exist and many of you weren't born. So on the count of 3, I want you all to say, hire me. 1, 2, 3. If you see me after the ceremony, I'll text it to you. Thank you, Chancellor Grant. Thank you to the Board of Trustees and the faculty and the staff and the students, the parents, spouses, partners, children. and especially the graduates. As a writer, I work from home. So I was at home when I received a phone call from the former Chancellor, Chancellor Emeritus Ann Ponder, about speaking at today's commencement. And I asked her, I said, as a commencement speaker, what am I going to have to do? And she said, oh, it's easy. You just kind of show up and you wear a robe. And I thought, I can do that. When she called me, it was 2:30 on a Wednesday afternoon, and I was still wearing a robe. So I figured the transition wouldn't prove too difficult. So needless to say, I was thrilled, and more than that, I was honored. And a few days later, I received an email from Chancellor Ponder containing a few particulars about travel and other arrangements. And I scrolled through it, and I was reading it and planning the trip. And I found that it was part of a larger email chain. She had accidentally included me on an email chain in which she'd reached out to the Department of Literature and Language to get the skinny on my time at UNCA. And I thought I'd share a few of the excerpts that I found. When approached about my returning to UNCA, Rick Chess wrote, Cash was in one of my poetry workshops, and I can't tell you how thrilled I was to learn that he'd moved on to fiction. David Hope said, in 1998, I co-starred in a play that Wiley wrote, and I haven't been able to find acting work since. Merritt Mosley said, I never had Wiley Cash in class, thank God. And Lori Horvitz said, is this the best alumnus you could find? Surely James Franco has managed to get a degree from UNCA. And after reading these messages and thinking about it, I found myself pondering the same thing you're probably pondering now. How in the world is it possible that James Franco doesn't have a degree from UNCA? And then I checked, he's actually enrolled in some online classes and he hopes to graduate next spring. In all seriousness, I love this university and I love being here. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about loving and I want to talk about being. First, love. You're all surrounded by people you love. And it's easy to love these people. They've been supportive and understanding and patient during the past 4 or 5, 6, maybe 10, 15 years of your time at UNCA. I think I was in class with some of you. It's easy to love these people because they love you. And I'm very fortunate. There are a number of people in my life who are incredibly easy to love. The first is my wife, Mallory. Her love for me is the only reason I'm now making a career as a novelist. And because of this, it's easy for me to love her. And it's made easier because she's smart and funny and beautiful and not here, so she's not horrified that I'm saying that about her. The second is my 7-month-old daughter, which is the reason she's not here. And as you can imagine, she's easy to love as well. And luckily, she takes after her mother and that she's smart and funny and beautiful. The rest of my family, my parents, my older sister, Jada, my younger brother, Cliff, they have been and they continue to be supportive of my life and my career. They love me, so they're easy to love. When I think of love in this way, meaning that we love others, so they love us in return and so on, I think about reciprocity and balance and equity. But graduates, this isn't always going to be the case in your life. It certainly hasn't always been the case in mine, especially when it comes to writing. I love writing. I love the written word. I love the act of placing words on paper or the computer screen. I love using words to create characters and stories. So imagine how surprised I was when I discovered that writing was never, ever going to love me back. Unlike my wife, my daughter, my parents, siblings, and friends, writing was never going to meet me halfway in our relationship. There would be no reciprocity, there would be no balance, there would be no equity. This first became clear to me one Saturday night during my sophomore year here at UNC Asheville. It was late, probably near or past midnight. My girlfriend had just dumped me, and I was sitting at my desk over in Scott Hall working on a story about a guy whose girlfriend had just dumped him. Downstairs in the lounge, a group of my close friends were having a party, and several of them had come upstairs throughout the night to invite me down, but I never went. Something kept me at the desk in front of the computer where I was putting words on the screen. I think that something was love. I had fallen in love with writing. Don't get me wrong, I loved the friends downstairs. They loved me, and I'm still close with many of them. As a matter of fact, I've seen many of them this weekend. But I had fallen in love with writing, and because I knew it would never love me back, I double loved it to make up for that lack of equity. I've been on bestsellers lists, I've given readings and attended events all over the world. I've shared the stage with writers I never thought I'd meet, much less call friends. Over the past 5 years, my life has changed in ways I never could have imagined. And after all that, I can tell you this. I've never felt more like a writer than I did that Saturday night in Scott Hall on the campus of UNC Asheville in the fall of 1997. I felt like a writer then because I decided to give myself over to it, to double love it. Getting a book contract didn't make me love writing any more than I already did. Holding my first novel in my hand didn't either. Graduates, I want to encourage, to beg, to plead with you to find something you love and be prepared to double love it because it's not going to love you back. And you have to be okay with that. If you're an attorney, the law is never going to love you. If you're an engineer, physics are never going to love you. If you're an actor, the stage is never going to love you. Like all one-sided relationships, you're going to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I giving so much love when I don't get love in return? Perhaps the answer to this question is in the next thing I want to talk about, and that thing is being. When children are young, we ask them, what are you going to be when you grow up? And then once those children are grown, we ask them what they do for a living. As adults, we seem intent on privileging the doing over the being. And one could make the argument that we too often forget that we are human beings and not human doings. When we think of education, we often think of it as preparing us to do something. But an institution like UNC Asheville, which is steeped in the liberal arts, is geared toward allowing us to be something, to be enlightened, to be aware, to be involved, to be curious, to be interested, and hopefully, especially as you go on the job market, to be interesting. Today, I want you to think less about what you want to do after this morning's commencement and more about what you want to be. Perhaps you spent the past however many years preparing to do the work of an accountant or a teacher or a psychologist or a writer. But something in the back of your mind has been telling you that that's not what you are. It's never too late to be what you are. If you surrender to this, then you will uncover the thing you love, the thing to which you will be willing to dedicate your life, the thing that will never love you back, but the thing you will always be willing to double love. So, if I meet you after today's ceremony, I'm not going to ask you what you're going to do for a living. I'm going to ask you what you want to be. But the good news is this: that thing you want to be, I'd be willing to bet you already are. So, to the University of North Carolina Asheville's class of 2015, on this 9th day of May, I wish you all the success you can have and all the joy you can stand, and I hope everything good happens to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wiley, for your remarks, your humanity, and your humor. I think some of those faculty members may still be withholding final grades, too. I just don't know. That was beautiful. It is now my great pleasure to welcome our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Joseph Urgo, to the podium for the conferring of degrees. Dr. Urgo?
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please stand? Chancellor Grant, these students have completed all the requirements for the baccalaureate degree and have been so certified by the faculty and the registrar. I present them to you for the awarding of degrees.
In recognition of your successful completion of the course of study and your fulfillment of requirements by vote of the university faculty, with the approval of the Board of Trustees and the concurrence of the Board of Governors, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by these boards and the state of North Carolina, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science and Engineering, or Bachelor of Science. You may now take your seats, and you'll be called forward to receive your diplomas.
Chancellor Grant, we begin with the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts. Daniel J. Addington. Gabrielle Jennifer Adler. Rhonda Ziad Alamor, magna cum laude. Owen Max Albala, cum laude. Yao Wame Amanfo, cum laude. Katie Marie Anders. Yanet Alejandra alias Sanchez. Kate Lee Everett. Lisa Renee Ball. Haley Elizabeth Banish. Sam Sunan Barbeau. Dakota James Barker. Jacob Thomas Barker. Brittany Samantha Barnwell, cum laude. Aaron Morris Baskin. Rebecca Tamara Baylor, magna cum laude. Catherine Joanne Baining. Nicholas Alexander Belvin. Sophie Marie Berry. Abigail Louise Billman. Chloe Lane Birkenthal. Kyle David Blank. Christine Elizabeth Boissevain. Mary Catherine Bones. Kashka Ayana Ninjeri Booker. Catherine Grace Borders. Lindsay Nicole Bostic, cum laude. Caitlin Brooke Boyd. Patricia Ann Boyd. Sarah Ann Brady. Michael Jeffrey Breen McKay, summa cum laude. Rachel Lane Brailsford. Avery Lacey Britt. Mary Sierra Broadland, cum laude. Lloyd Stephen Lee Brookshire. Chelsea Morgan Buckner. He's coming. Andrew Ninian Burdette. Caitlin Noreen Burkhart. Haley Nicole Bird. Kayla Danielle Call, magna cum laude. Ethan Neil Campbell. Solomon Bates Karnock. James Hagan Carringer. Paige Lisa Carter. Philip Scott Chester. Amanda Brooke Klein. Catherine Marie Klein. Elian Pamela Coates. Rachel Ann Coleman. Carrie Margaret Colasso, cum laude. Christine Maria Koslian. Joshua Stephen Dacey, cum laude. Megan Brennan Daly. Jake Page Deaton. James Leonard D'Angelo. Beatrice Marie Delesk, magna cum laude. Maria Angelita Pango Domingo. Corinne Victoria Dunn. Anna Louise DuPont, summa cum laude. Nathan Clark Egan. Catherine Rose Engel. Adrian Suzanne Etheridge, magna cum laude. Ashley Helen Finale, magna cum laude. Jordan Lee Fassa. Megan Page Fields, magna cum laude. Tyler Jordan Fisher. Naomi Lynn Fitzgerald, summa cum laude. Adrian Elizabeth Flippin, magna cum laude. Kendall Macon Foster. Evan Michael Faust. Kayla Renee Frady, magna cum laude. Alice Marie Frazier. Joseph Vance Gailey III. Bridget Rose Gallagher. Michael Peter Galvez. Gina Marie Garrett. Killian Joseph Giannini, summa cum laude. Maura Alice Goggins. Kristen Lynn Donitsky. Courtney Nicole Gore. Juliana Elizabeth Gracia, cum laude. Martha Abigail Griffin. Abigail Bounds Gruches, magna cum laude. Sydney Elizabeth Gura. Brittany Alexis Gwynn. Catherine Ann Haas. Pierce Stephen Hall. Daniel Sandberg Hamaker. Daniel Douglas Hammock. Julia Lee Hansgen, cum laude. Stephen Edward Harbeck. Amanda Nicole Harzula. April Elizabeth Housley. Christina Maria Healy. Jessica Christine Heath. Morgan Grace Heflin, magna cum laude. Ashley Susan Hager, magna cum laude. Colette Marie Heiser, cum laude. Catherine Bess Hilbinger. Catherine Megan Hill. Christopher Edward Hill, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Maxine Hinson, cum laude. Chastity Page Height, cum laude. Sarah Catherine Hoffman. Eric Michael Hoffman. Chloe Ingram Holden. Andrew Cromwell Holliday. Rebecca Abbott Holmberg. Lindsay Kate Holton. Amber Nicole Hauser. Sarah Elizabeth Huckabee. Catherine Ann Hudson. Melissa Ann Huggins. Justin Allen Hunt. Charles Frank Hurt. Richard Theodore Hyman. Rachel Nicole Ingram, cum laude. Kimberly Conquest Jackson. Elizabeth Calicut Jago, summa cum laude. Ian Ashton Johnson. Catherine Leanne Johnson. Rebecca Rowe Johnson. Maggie Lane Johnston. Adam Mountcastle joins. Evan Forrest Jura. Thais Ahede Viona Giovanelli. Peyton Catherine Kennedy. Chelsea Lynn King, cum laude. Andrew Robert Kirkland. Alexander Michelle Clabater. Virginia Catherine Knight, magna cum laude. Keith Douglas Knox, Jr. Kelly Anderson Kirk. Kiana Lee Kuamoto. Amanda Elizabeth Larson. Skylar Kitfield Laws. Hannah Antonina Lesky. Ashley Piper Lieb, cum laude. Caitlin Diane Lineberry. Aaron Joseph Linkus. Joseph Peter Lazowski, magna cum laude. Damian Lopez de Jesus. Karina Marlis Lopez. William Allen Lundquist, summa cum laude. Susanna Rose Lyon, magna cum laude. Martha Ruth McQuatters. Albert John Manachino III. Ahmad Mohammed Mansour. Elizabeth Ann Manzeri. Wes Marcusfeld. Jason Scott McDaniel. Amber Nicole McGilvery. Olivia Cassell Madoff. Andrew John Mayer. Molly Elizabeth Meinhardt. Joshua Tyler Metcalf. Allison Marie Meyer, magna cum laude. Carolyn James Milliman. Patrick Dalton Millwater. Thomas Brammer Mims. Armand Michael Marion. Jessica Lee Moody. Weston Lassiter Morris. Ethan Fletcher Morris. Alwyn Elizabeth Mothershed. Molly Florence Mulcahy. Emily Paige Murphy. Nadia Rose Nemenis. Hannah Lorette Noel, cum laude. Vanessa Mercedes Noack. Warren William Oliver. Nancy Kathleen O'Neill. Sophia Constanzas Otero. Tyler Hale Parker. Rachel Ann Parsons. Diamelin Larry Partridge, Jr. Jana Rose Peterson. Cum laude. Grace Shirley Phillips. Allison Elizabeth Plitt, magna cum laude. Max John Polifrone. Clifton Jeffrey Price, cum laude. Hannah Scott Quackenbush. Catherine Elizabeth Reed. Alexandra Shea Reynolds. Jasmine Marie Raziti, magna cum laude. Judith Meredith Regal. Julia Meredith Regal. Emily Carolyn Reese. Jessica Thomas Ringley. Sarah Elizabeth Restaino, magna cum laude. Alexis Olivia Rivers. Jaleel Dominique Roberts. Stephanie Ann Rogers. Hannah Leah Roed. Ashley Ann Rolland. Rupa Vickers Roos. Kayla May Russell. Tarek Ibrahim Sadek. Alexander John Sass. Danielle Nicole Schuler, summa cum laude. Danny! Stacy Lynn Sexton. Kelsey Nicole Shamblin, magna cum laude. Brianna Nicole Sheehan. Elena Valate Shirk. Jeannie Lee Shuxtus, cum laude. Hannah Anastasia Solinsky. Jean Murray Slade. Britton Colin Arrington Sluter, cum laude. Georgia Marie Smith. Molly Adele Smithson, cum laude. Valentina Sparkman. Andrew Dunn Sparks, summa cum laude. Stephen Christopher Spears, magna cum laude. Christine Rigdon Spencer, cum laude. Harper Bell Spires. Luke Michael Santangelo. Valentina Stader. Scott David Stewart. Ronnie Bruce Stroud. Destiny Renee Stubbs. Nora Mary Sugar, magna cum laude. Laura Dawn Sunmark. Jenna Lee Surratt, magna cum laude. Saleh Shakib Tabaila. Catherine Joy Tavener, magna cum laude. Jedediah Haynes Templin, summa cum laude. Sarah Thomas. Kimberly Constance Tierney. Maria Asuncion Tudela. Keely Ann Turner. Samuel Hart Tyson, cum laude. Ariana Nicole Van Lente. Brian Trung Vu. Catherine Elizabeth Walton, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elise Watkins, cum laude. Stephanie Watkins Cruz. Miranda Gresco Weinstein. Sarah Megan Westendorf. Kara Elaine Westmoreland. Rebecca Ann Wethington. James Weldon Whalen, cum laude. Carrie Kathleen Whalen. Lee Carter Whitaker. Megan Elizabeth Willard. Jacob Alexander Porter Williams. Casey Elijah Willis. Hannah Elizabeth Wink. Leah Nicole Warmack, cum laude. Alyssa Nicole Wright. Brianna Lorraine Wright. Sydney Rebecca Yates. Savannah Lynn Yummit, cum laude. And now for the Bachelor of Fine Arts. Margaret Frances Briggs, cum laude. Austin Turner Kathy, cum laude. Emma Larker Dodgen, cum laude. Peyton Elizabeth James, cum laude. Kavan Casamini. Anna Catherine Melton. Louise Bahia Thompson. For the Bachelor of Science in Engineering, a degree jointly awarded by UNC Asheville and North Carolina State University, Raymond Casey Darden. Hunter Jackson Davison. Joshua Timothy Felstein. Dale Philip Hussung Jr. Patrick David Kelly, cum laude. Christopher Thomas King. Caleb Lee Kaiser. Casey Jordan Miller. Sebastian Andres Peniagua. Eric Jacob Rudin. Derek Brian Solis. And now for the Bachelor of Science, Michael Thomas Agnew. Ode Louis Amar. Maria Chiara Archibald, summa cum laude. Marie Bonnie Baxter, summa cum laude. John Joshua Ballard. Patrick Benedetto, magna cum laude. Leah Eve Berger Singer. Braithan Iliathe Barathe Lane. Miklos Alexander Billings. Emily May Betcher. Caitlin McMurray Bridges, cum laude. Nathan Franklin Bridges. Casey Darby Briggs, cum laude. Hunter Clark Bryant, cum laude. Jeannie Francis Buckner, magna cum laude. Nathaniel Seth Buckner. Caitlin O'Neill Burrows. Vincent Anthony Bantai Caminiti. Drew Morrison Canning. Randy Renee Carter, magna cum laude. Justin Blake Casey. Sean Louis Cheatham. Ian Thomas Chesser. Alexander Brent Chu, magna cum laude. Stephen Nathaniel Sibic, summa cum laude. William Robert Clark. Corey Allen Cloud. Megan Lindahl Cooper. Erin Grace Cox. Marissa Shaylin Craver. Susanna Evelyn Crawford. Erica Francis Crosby. Joseph Robert Cutting. Amanda Christine Daler. Amalendu Shuman Das. Jessica Lynn Davis. Noah Enoch Decker, cum laude. Ryan Noah Dyson. Monica Rose Elliott. Sarah Ashley Evans, magna cum laude. Dylan Andrew Farnham. John David Fenwick. Giovanni Ray Figaro, summa cum laude. Patrick Grayson Flynn. Megan Victoria Foster. Adam Scott Freshcorn. Gloria Maria Gagan, cum laude. Andrew Brennan Diggy. William Bradley Goldberg. Ren Elizabeth Emmons Gregory, summa cum laude. Samuel Bryant Grosbeck. Catherine Elizabeth Haynes. Joshua Hayden Hall. Marie Kinney Hampton. Zachary Charles Hand. Denise Frances Harrigan, magna cum laude. Michael Alexander Hill. Sarah Taylor Heinzman, summa cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Harrell, cum laude. Thomas Edward Homard. Elise Elizabeth Haudershell, magna cum laude. Luke Gamble Howe. Marie Rose Hughes, summa cum laude. Ashley Crochet Ireland. Daniel Jean Hansen, Jackson. Madison Ann James. Stephen Dominic Jaslow. Sarah Ann Jeske. Lindsay Kamala Johnson, cum laude. Margaret Kelly Johnson. Shonice Lakeya Jones. William Andrew Kozlauskas. Ju Sung Kim, cum laude. Erin Elizabeth Kinney. Matthew James Copy. Alex Brian Kowald II. Lindsay Michelle Kirkendall. Morgan Ray Lambert. Marika Lee Lapham, cum laude. Stephen Alexander Lees. Lindsay Alice Lewis. Mary Nicole Lisk. Corey Thomas Littlejohn. Ryan Fitzpatrick Lal. Madeline Francis Long. Kyle Thomas Macy. Anna Julie Mathis. Meredith Marie Mauk. Tiffany Ann Moppin. Sean Michael McCann. Aaron Valentine McCarn. Megan Elizabeth McGreal, cum laude. Emilia Alejandra Mancayo. Matilda Elaine Monroe. Thomas Jacob Moore, cum laude. Heather Marie Muller, cum laude. Christian David Munoz Pineda. Loudon Audrey Nahabandi. Mailing Ann Newell. Khan D. Nguyen. Mimi Nguyen, magna cum laude. Nicholas Ryan Novak. Amika Augustine Unconquo, cum laude. Margaret Elizabeth Palmer. Leo Panachakornkun, cum laude. Alexander William Paspa. Nicholas Christopher Pilone. Victoria Elaine Peslin. Douglas Patrick Phillip Jr. Hayes David Pearson. Caitlin Elizabeth Pindell, cum laude. Kylan Elizabeth Pisani. David Allen Queen. Christopher Morgan Reed. Ashlyn Grace Rickard, cum laude. Jennifer Elaine Riddle. Lisa Lee Rigsby. Caleb Ray Robinson, cum laude. Kyle Aaron Robinson. Robert Russell Rowland, Jr. Amy Danielle Rollins. Kelsey Lee Ross. Aaron Michael Rothmich, cum laude. Margot Elise Sani. Boris Alexander Sarkisov. Jordan Lee Satterfield. Aaron Lynn Sattler. Devonna Gail Saunders. Trevor Joseph Sawicki. Nicholas Anthony Schiavone. Brent Kevin Schuler. John G. Schubel, cum laude. Savannah Camille Seithel. Mary B. Senko. Adam Haney Shelley. Allie Elizabeth Sherman. Kevin Joseph Silva, summa cum laude. Jane Kristen Smith. Sean David Spitzer. Charles Winslow Splain. Allison Michelle Svenstrup. Luda Svetlova, cum laude. Candice Brooke Taylor. Robert Milton Taylor, Jr. Holly Catherine Theobald. Daniel Hart Thomas. Christopher Chase Thurman. Cassandra Montesclaros Tombach. Kyle James Tolles. Tacey Lorraine Trammell, magna cum laude. Robert Philip Treadway. Matthew William Walker. Fareed Anis Warid. Jane Grace Warsler. Christina Elaine Webb. Michael Edward Wheeler. Dylan Claire Williams, cum laude. Kyle Ross Wisman. Richard Aaron Woleslogel. Kelsey Ray Woods. Kelly Heather Olshan, summa cum laude.
What a great, great day. What a great day of celebration, of hope, of inspiration. There is so much to celebrate, to be hopeful about, to be inspired by. Class of 2015, I am inspired by you, and I am deeply grateful for the many different pathways that delivered to UNC Asheville, and that have now led you across this stage. You chose this university for different reasons. You may have come here alone, but you leave here today as part of a community. Over the last few months, I have had the opportunity to talk with many of you. I thank you for your warm welcome. It has been a true gift to have these conversations and to learn more about your next steps, your plans, your dreams, your worries, your hopes for the future. A common theme did emerge from these conversations. All of you want to make a difference. If you have done that, and you have done that during your time at UNC Asheville, and I am confident you will do it again and again and again. I know that the roads that you have traveled were not always smooth. They never are. That, my friends, is life. But I also know that the journey is made lighter, easier, richer when we make them in the company of family and friends. Class of 2015, it has been a privilege to travel a stretch of your road together, and I cannot wait to see where the road takes you next. Oh, and one piece of really good advice, which could actually be a metaphor for life: learn to read a map, a real map. As a newcomer in the majestic hills of western North Carolina, I have found that following the automated, often condescending voice of the GPS will only take you so far, and sometimes in the wrong direction. So members of the class of 2015, just at the moment when you have your map in your hand, are ready to toss your caps in the air, jump out of your seats, and head off to continue the celebration, I bring to you a commencement tradition where the chancellor, that would be me, gives you one last charge, and it's a quick one. As I look out at all of you, I am reminded of the wisdom of the late Reverend Peter Gomes, who believed that at commencement we should charge our graduates. We should call upon our graduates to regard their daily lives as a place in which they do ordinary things extraordinarily well. The call is simple, it is elegant, it makes sense that each day do what you do extraordinarily well. In doing so, draw upon the very best parts of your liberal arts education: imagination, creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, and moral reasoning. Engage deeply and meaningfully in your daily lives with your family, as part of your community, in your professional work, your civic work. Engage in a way that makes a difference, in a way that matters. Think about the ways in which Dr. Wiley Cash, Principal Chief Hicks, Dr. Matthews, and Dr. Balls have all made a difference. Their contributions and accomplishments did not happen overnight. They happened over the course of many days, many years, many, many hard-working evenings. For all the Bulldogs in the crowd, and there are many here, I am reminded how the legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden would advise his players that success is never final, failure is not fatal, it is courage that counts. Think about it. Today, you've reached a milestone, but you are far from finished. You are just getting started. Commencement is not a final destination. When you make a mistake or fail at something, it is not fatal. Use it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to get back in the game. Be resilient and have the courage to do it better next time, or smarter, or with greater empathy. Have the courage to know that there is always more to be done, more to accomplish, more to learn. It takes courage to persist, to go beyond what is obvious and easy. Courage not to be satisfied or deterred. Courage not to take for granted who we are, where we are, what we do, or what we are capable of doing. Have the courage to ask for help and to know that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. And don't ever be afraid to offer help. In the words of Edmund Burke, nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little. Have the courage to forgive and to be generous, to give, to receive love. Yes, it does take courage to love. To truly open your heart and extend yourself, expecting nothing in return, but getting so much back. Have the courage to let crazy, tenacious hope lead you. It takes true courage to be hopeful in spite of circumstances. So class of 2015, my charge to you really is quite simple. Make a difference, be resilient, remain hopeful and optimistic, and let courage and love serve as your guides. Before you leave here today, take one last look around you and think about how fortunate and privileged we are to be here, to be each other's friends. Think about the people you love. It is my greatest hope for you that you will bring meaning into your lives by giving of yourself to others, to the community, and that you create something that gives you purpose and meaning. I encourage you to live a life that is authentic, live a life that is honest. I encourage you to remain optimistic and take the long view. Change and success do not happen overnight. You have to work at it. Be part of something that is greater than you. Create accomplishments and define your own measures of success. Find humor, share it with others. Open yourself to new experiences. Learn to forgive, be generous. Leave the world a bit better through your work, your humanity, and your commitment to making a difference. As Emerson wrote, to know even when life has breathed easier because you have lived is to have succeeded. You have left this piece of the world better by having been here. And the world that you are about to enter will be enriched by your spirit, by your talents, by your humanity. Class of 2015, it has been a great privilege to know you and to work with you. I offer to you my deepest and most heartfelt congratulations. I call upon you to do all things, both the ordinary and the not so ordinary, extraordinarily well and with great meaning. I wish you every success. Class of 2015, please stand. Move your tassels to the left. By the virtue of the authority vested in me and by the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees, the UNC Board of Governors, and the great state of North Carolina, I proclaim you graduates of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. I welcome to the platform Sarah Restaino, Emma Larkin-Dodgen, and Vanessa Mercedes Noack, the class of 2015, to lead us in singing the Alma Mater. The words are printed in your program. Please remain standing while we're joined by our magnificent seniors.
Hail our alma mater, hail UNCA, learning be your watchword, greatness be your way. High upon the mountains, in the land of sky, stands our alma mater. Lift your voices high, noble alma mater. Hear our words of praise. May we love and honor you until the end of days.
Thank you, Sarah, Emma, and Vanessa. Congratulations once again to the class of 2015. Please extend today's celebration with some light refreshments here on the quad. There are signs to help you find faculty and members from each of the academic departments and the Division of Student Affairs. I would ask that you please remain standing until the platform party has exited and our graduates have recessed. And once again, I just want to say congratulations, class of 2015, to your families and friends. Have a wonderful day. We are so proud of you. Congratulations.